Good morning. Welcome to subramani.com. Pleasure meeting you guys. I thought I'll talk about four great marketing lessons, completely what I learned with my experience. First of all, stock picking is extremely hard work. Anybody tells you something different, or somebody is willing to tell you top 10 companies to buy, etc., is a bluff master. We were very lucky that we ran a small research company where people would come and say, please do research on this company, and we would do research. So we did research on companies like Pateja Forging, ATV Petrochem, which subsequently became Supreme Petrochem, Pateja Forging, Supreme Industries, Supreme Petrochem, and ATV Petrochem, Carborundum Universal, Coromandel Fertilizer, or it is now called Coromandel International, and I'm running out of names. Yeah, but these are some of the companies which we did research on. When we finished research on Supreme Industries, when one of India's topmost investor was supposed to pay us fees, and he told a friend, what fees? I've asked him to do research on such a good company. I've given him access to the company's top management. So why should I be paying fees? And of course he paid us. But coming to think of it, Supreme Industries, which we bought in 1988-89 because we did research, is still holding us in good stead. 1986, Coromandel International, still Coromandel Fertilizer, then now called Coromandel International, still holding us in good stead. Pateja Forging, we lost a lot of money for us and for our clients. Personally, not much, but yes, we lost money. We honestly believed it was a great company. Ran amok. Forget what happened. Yes, we lost money in that. SVC Petrochem we sold out, and it was called ATV Petrochem. It then became Supreme Petrochem. We lost money. But we realized one thing, that it takes at least 4 or 5 days to complete research on the company. Not even whether we want to buy or no, just putting together a lot of data. Today, a lot of the data is available at a flip of a switch, but still going and meeting management, then worrying whether you're getting carried away by what the management says. Meeting the management is one of the worst things you can do as an investor, because every management puts its best face forward, puts its best people forward, gives you good food, right? So you are bound to get biased. You have to stay away from that company for 2 weeks before you take a decision, and to create a portfolio is even more difficult. But and it is almost impossible to find out. For example, SVC Petrochem, or rather ATV Petrochem, is a company which we did not like the then promoters at all. I don't want to name them. We found it very difficult to like them. We found it very difficult to see how they could make money, because your competitor was called Reliance Industries. So, but yes, the kind of effort that is needed, the kind of teamwork that is needed, the kind of teams which are needed, none of us have access to those things. Face it, you are not a Prashant Jain, you are not a Rakesh, you're not a Naren, you don't have a team of 140 people, you don't have all that doing research into the company's numbers, knowing whether it is true, whether it is false. So therefore, I find it very, it's really amazing to see young investors, even those running PMS, chasing 40, 50, 80 companies. I found it very difficult. You can create your universe, but still your universe can't be 200 companies unless you have a huge team. So for me, my team today is available on the phone. I just have to call somebody and ask, what work are you doing on this? What do you think about this, right? So various ways of finding out. If there is a good company which you've spotted, go and see whether mutual funds have bought it. If it's a good company and mutual funds have bought it, it is reasonably clear that their corporate governance is not too much out of whack, right? So some of those things. Secondly, the market can give you irrational returns for very long periods of time. Now, people talk about the market being down for a very long period of time. When the market is down for a very long period of time, you may stop looking at the market. That's about all. You'll see, oh, kuch nahi ho raha hai, nothing happening in the market. The skill lies in being in the market in 2000 or 2099 and 2000, seeing the worst of markets unless you were in a tech boom in US, and then everything going fat, and then in 2003 still continuing to be in the market, and continuing to be in the market from 2003 to 2007, almost 2008. That is difficult because you entered the market, you did not have an index, or you entered the market when the market was 3000, then it became 6000, then it became 12,000. At some point you would have said, that's enough, let me go out. It was an irrational return. Many of us knew it was an irrational return, but believe it or not, many people's portfolio did not participate in that. If you had FMCG, if you had pharma, you didn't really participate in the rally. If you had technology, you participated. If you had infrastructure, if you had Tata Power, if you had L&T, if you had banking, and those kind of companies participated, but your Hindustan Lever and Colgate didn't participate. So if you had a portfolio which was half-half, you participated to the extent of one half of your portfolio. The other half didn't participate, right? So you have to be careful about that. So another thing you have to be careful about is when you do not need to take risk, don't take risk. For example, if I had my daughter's education requirement coming up in say 2021 February, I would have anyway pulled out a big chunk of the money by February 2020. A small portion would have been in the market. So in the March, when the market fell, only a small portion of my money would have suffered. In April it recovered is a different thing, but many people stick around with equity markets till almost the day that they need it. You can't do that. You have to get out of equities when it is comfortable and when you have reached your goal. Now suppose my next goal is 2030 and by 2027 I have already reached that goal. I have enough money for that goal to be kept in a bank account. By all means I should keep that much money in a bank account or a liquid fund, in a growth option or an ultra short bond fund which I can withdraw 3 years later. It's as simple as that, right? So when you do not need to take risk, do not take risk. Fourth, most important lesson, the market is a great humiliator. Exactly when you think that you have understood what the market does, the market comes and slaps you real hard and tells you, hey, you didn't even know what I was planning, right? What I was thinking. So it is Ken Fisher who calls it the great humiliator, and he says that market can, typically what everybody says, market can be irrational, and very important, remember, market can be forward looking. So now many people call and ask me, what is the reason why the market is up? Everybody knows that the country is in shit shape, that the world is in shit shape. Why is the American market going up? Why is the Indian market going up? Please understand, it's very simple. Markets always look at the future. So when we are in June, the market is perhaps looking at October, November and feeling that the virus problem will be solved, and there will be some kind of a solution. Either a vaccine will be found or the impact of the virus will be reduced by increasing the strength of the people. Some medicines will be found by which people will be able to take a longer time to come out of this. So when or there will be better warning signals, right? Any of those things, or beds will be available, so it will be like flu, people will come and conquer it. Some pill will be found by which the impact will be reduced, so people will not have to self quarantine, all those things. Market is looking at something like that which we do not know. So don't laugh at the market going ahead of the economy and all that. Market is doing something right. We are being irrational in thinking that we understand the market and market is wrong. Reverse it, alter your learning. You understand that you are not understanding what the market is doing. Of course, I am not understanding what the market is doing. I need to, what do I need to do? Maybe I only trade, maybe I don't invest, maybe it's not a market which I will miss. I may not wake up in 2024 and say, I wish I had invested in June 2020. Maybe the market will come down. I don't know, but stop making fun of the market. The market knows more than you do. Market knows more than all of us do. The market is the collective wisdom. It's the wisdom of the crowds. So 20,000 people, 2 million people, 20 million people acting on it is the market, right? who is acting on the market? Well educated, smart, the Vallabh Bansalis, the Rakesh Jhunjhunwalas of the world, the Warren Buffetts of the world, the mutual funds of the world, right? They're all acting on it. So it's not that you alone, right? So many people together feel that the market is out of danger and the market will do well, and therefore the market is high. Now, if you feel and you have a feeling to the contrary, you should just buy put options, go and sell the market, right? That's what you're supposed to do, because you think now there are people who are buying, there are people who are selling, and the market is where it is because of the combined effort of all people. Don't ridicule the combined effort. There is something which the market is telling you. If you don't understand, increase your understanding. I think these are 4 important lessons. I hope you find it useful. Please click on the bell icon and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.